develop the passion for printing and designing?
Yeah, so I went to MCAD, so Minneapolis College of Art and Design for illustration. And while I was there, just for fun, I took a printmaking class and learned how to make like the really old style printing, so like letterpress printing, where
Yes.
you're like running it through a really big press and setting lead type, and I just absolutely fell in love. Um, and so for my senior internship, I went to the Minnesota Center for Book Arts. It's in downtown Minneapolis. It's an amazing old building on Washington. Um, and I worked in the shop there. But I just learned so much about like paper and the printing process and like how files are set up, and like just dove headfirst into the paper arts world and like learned how to make my own paper. And just as the internship went on, I eventually ended up getting hired there. So that's kind of where I like grew and built my passion for printing and kind of telling people's stories through paper. Um, so then I was there for about 5.5 years, and then I eventually came out to Epitome as a manager, and just fell in love with wedding invitations because it's what I love to do, is tell people's stories through paper, and through this print process. So when I found out that the previous owner was selling the company, I was like, well, gonna do it. And so here I am 2 years later.
Wow.
And I just love every day of it.
So you just took the leap right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yup.
Incredible. Incredible. And then like, who was your mentor or teacher at the time that you really looked up to at the time that you were learning all about printing?
Yeah, Jody Williams. She still actually teaches at MCAD, but she was the one who got me the internship. She teaches classes there from time to time. She's an amazing book artist, where she does these really tiny little books and boxes that you take out, and it's just this whole little journey going through everything.
Okay.
But definitely the one who like pushed me to get into this and kind of continue my exploration of paper arts.
Ah, okay. So Epitome Papers, they were already in the Galleria.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, so you just came in and you just brought out the business from the previous owner.
Yep. Yes. So Epitome actually has been around for over 50 years. It actually first started in the early 70s. It's been all women run the entire time. It started as a clothing company actually, and then when they moved into the Galleria, they added on stationery. And it grew so popular that when they moved out to Excelsior, they just got rid of the clothing end and said, let's go all in on the paper. And so that's when I came in.
Wow, wow.
And
So
yeah.
so all during this time when you were in college and learning
Mhm.
about printing, did you also wanted to be a entrepreneur at the time?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's something I've always wanted to do, is to run my own print shop, and kind of that's something even before college that I really was interested in, running my own store, kind of being my own boss. It's been
Mhm.
like an undercurrent through
Right.
everything.
Okay. Did you have any other jobs like before that, or this is just the only thing that you like done as far as work?
I mean, I did like side stuff, like basic little jobs, like work at gas stations and stuff like that. But this is my main career.
This is it. This is your baby. All right. So
Yup.
you meet Shannon then.
So Shannon's actually been with Epitome for about 9 years. So she was actually the one who kind of showed me the ropes. And then when I said, hey, I'm purchasing this company, do you want to continue? She was like, yes. And so we've kind of been tag teaming it and combining our ideas and our creativity together to keep Epitome going strong.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So she was already there. Okay. Hey,
Hmm.
could you walk me through like the wedding invitation process that you use to create that's something special for clients? How do you do it?
Yeah. Yeah, so we normally start working with our clients about 3 months before the wedding. The more time, the better, because then it makes the timeline nice and relaxing. It gives us time to get to know the bride and the groom more, or the groom and the groom. Um, but we sit down with them and kind of listen to them and like hear what they're looking for, their love story, what do they want to incorporate into their invitations, because your invitation is really the first thing that your guests see. So it's like we want it to represent their wedding and their ceremonies and like what they want to have. So we sit down, talk about colors, kind of as we move through our consultation process. We start being like, okay, well, you have like a wooded theme wedding. Here are some samples that we've done before, and kind of start walking them through like, okay, well, let's take this element from here, and maybe, oh, you like this font, we can use that, and sort of start building their invitation. So that by the time they leave the consultation, they have a pretty good idea of what they're looking for. And so then the next day, I just type out like an estimate, of like, here's everything we talked about, here's all the papers we looked at, all the ink colors. And so then I give them a price. And if they say, let's do it, then we go right into design. I start proofing. I sometimes do like multiple ideas. Like if it's super custom art, like I'll do sketches. And then we kind of work together. So it's really like I'm guiding the couple through the process, but it's theirs. It's something that they get to create together, and it's something they get to do. So yeah, once the proof is all done, then we print, and we can go as far as even mailing them for couples. So if they're like, I don't want to sit there and watch Netflix and write 250 addresses, we can do that for them. So they can be hands-on the entire time, or we can just do the whole thing for them. So It's kind of making it special for each couple is really important to me.
Right on. So it's a full service apprenticeship.
Yo, yes.
I love it. I love it. Hey,
Yeah.
what are some of the best stories you've heard as you were creating a client's vision? Any that stick out in mind?
I think my favorite one was actually one Shannon did a custom map for. It was this mom who came in that was doing the invitations for her daughter. And her daughter and her fiance were medical doctors, that they bought a school bus that they would take. They turned the school bus into like a little like a mini bus hospital.
Okay.
And they would go around in the North Woods in Minnesota, and like if a camper had a problem, they would help them out, and like they had Band-Aids and like help with first aid stuff. And so she wanted to somehow incorporate that. So Shannon did this gorgeous map and had the little school bus on there.
Oh.
And like where they normally were located. And
nice.
It was just really cool to have those fun little elements.
No doubt. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'd never heard that before.
Neither have I. Like a bus, like a mobile bus hospital, or
Yep.
So, of course, we went through the COVID-19 period, and we touched on that a little bit before we started the podcast. How has that situation been for you and your business?
Yeah, well, it obviously hit us really hard, since we're the ones that normally brides will pick their venue and then come to us. One thing we were fortunate is a lot of our brides happened to be getting married in the summer. So we didn't have a lot of spring brides. We had a weird gap this year. I don't know why or how, but we didn't have any May weddings. So we were really lucky with that, because then no one had to cancel or postpone.
Right.
So a lot of the brides we were already working with, we hadn't entered the print phase yet. So we were like, okay, let's just put your designs done. We'll put it on hold. And when you get a new date, when something happens, then we'll print it. And it'll be like it never happened.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're really fortunate with that. But it was crazy, and we're still kind of ramping up again of brides starting to come back, because I feel like it took a while. There was a pause where we didn't have any work going on, and we both were working from home. I
Yeah.
was just keeping up with social media and being like, hey, we're here for you. I was designing postponement, resave the date cards, and like trying to be like, we're here to help you. Um, so we had a couple of those that we've done. And yeah, just trying to stay busy, trying to remind our couples that we're there. Um, yeah, it's been really interesting.
Yeah.
But like, even I had a bride pick up her postponement cards this morning, and she kind of got a little bit weepy and was like, this has been really hard, but you guys have been there. And thank you for going so fast and like being like, here's the wording, here's how we're going to do this. We'll have them ready for you, all addressed and ready to go. Because yeah, it's just unexpected for everybody. And
Right.
there's really the best thing we can do is support them.
Exactly. Yeah. Because, it's not their fault, of course,
Yeah.
they're not the ones that done it, but yet they're the ones that are like really dealing with it. And it's like, my
Yeah.
goodness, what do we do? When do we get married?